What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Ladies Who Bronche. I'm Julissa.
What's up, everybody? This is Skittles.
And this week, y'all have no idea how excited I am right now. I am thrilled to have with us somebody who I secretly really look up to and I think is doing really important work in my community and also has given me the strength to continue a journey that I decided to go on a couple years ago with my hair. But she's so much more than that, and I'm so excited to get to know a little bit more. Carolina, who the fuck are you?
Oh my God. Emma, that's a great question. I'm Dominican.
Yes! I love when we're here.
Half Dominican.
Dominican.
I am a proud Afro-Latina.
Yes.
For sure. I am a social entrepreneur.
Yes.
I'm an activist.
A social entrepreneur, I love that.
I'm a social entrepreneur, I'm an activist.
Yes.
And I'm actually a lot more shy than people think I am.
Yeah.
I have to warm up.
Yeah.
And I'm not the same necessarily with everyone. I have to definitely warm up. And so I'm an extrovert with a little bit of an introvert.
Yes.
Like I'm in the middle. And what else about me? I like to eat.
Yes.
A lot. I love food.
Yes.
I love brunches.
Yeah.
And another really interesting fact, this is my very first podcast.
Nice.
No way we got
Sure, you just called my podcast. I have a podcast and I've been on radio shows that have been played on like sort of online platforms.
Right.
But those are not podcasts, those are radio shows. Like
Right.
NPR
Yes.
and Storytime or whatever. But a podcast, this is my very, very first one.
I am honored. You have no idea. And like fun fact, her last name is Contreras and I'm a Contreras.
Yeah.
So she's from Lima. She's actually my cousin.
Oh my God.
Totally related. I mean,
you know, once you're on an island with a last name like Contreras, it's hard to, like, everyone's connected. Like, everyone's
for sure. And your sister actually showed pictures of like great grandparents that look like me.
Yo,
Wow.
I will not, like, literally be surprised. Like, if we do it, we should do it Ancestry.com.
So we should compare my
Yeah,
sisters with them.
and see where the family connection is. So, yeah. So she's my family.
And then I'm also really excited to be on here because y'all curse.
Yeah.
And I curse too, but I choose not to curse on my social media platforms, not because I'm not being my authentic self, but because I feel like that platform is really open to a lot of different people that I'm impacting. And so it's just not the place. I do every so often a little bit, but not in the same way that you might hear me curse here. So disclaimer.
Right.
I'm a little potty mouth that I should not
Yes.
But I
Oh,
don't.
the best soap. That's like the cure all soap, by the way.
And so I feel like swearing is not a bad thing. It's just, I feel like there's a time and place for everything. And I feel like it's okay to do it. I feel like there are moments and spaces where, I choose not to. So yeah. I was excited to get the shit fucking started.
Awesome. So, we'll talk a little bit later about your journey and all that jazz, but like, I want to hear about your love for DR and like being on the island, because I feel like growing up, I always had this connection. I always wanted to be like Pocahontas in nature. And in my little South Bronx apartment, I was always like, this is not palm tree, this is not beach, this is not anything that they say being Dominican is. I don't feel like a real Dominican. And so I always have wondered, like, damn, what would it have been like to grow up there? I mean, and I have kind of a sense because usually kids from here would get sent over there when they were bad. It's like, that was punishment. It's like, you want to go live in DR? And it was like, no. But I wonder, I think that is just like a skewed perspective. And I've always been curious, like, what is the island? What is it like growing up directly on the island?
So, fun fact, I didn't grow up on the island.
You didn't grow up on the island?
I was born there, and when I was 4, I was brought to Boston.
Nice.
The U.S. I spent about 14 years in Boston in Somerville area, and then I went to college in Pennsylvania. When I graduated college, or a year before graduating college, or a few months before graduating college, I visited the DR for the very first time. So I actually did not grow up going to the DR. And then I visited for the first time. I gifted that trip to DR to my mom for her 40th birthday. And so the reason I went to DR at 21, I think it was because I spent a semester abroad the year before in France. And I traveled all over Europe. And I'm like, crap, I know where to get the best pizza in like Florence, Italy, but I don't know where to get the best arroz de carne in DR. Like,
Right.
sashimi.
Right.
And so I was like, I've traveled so much, let me go, and I want my mom to go with me. And so after I went, about 6 months after I graduated college, and I was like, I still don't know enough of DR. Let me go back for 2 months and do this right, and let me backpack all of DR. I graduated college, this is the moment. After that, I'll go live in Costa Rica for 3 months, get the TOEFL, then I'll live in Brazil and do like English, teach English as a second language. And I had it all planned out for 2 years, learn Portuguese, come back to the US, get my law degree and be an immigration lawyer, like, or be some kind of a diplomat or something. That was the plan. And 2 months of DR turned into nearly 10 years.
Wow. Okay, so like that's incredible, first of all. So then what was that? Like, how did, that amount of time become 10 years?
Yeah.
Like, what kept you there?
So, I don't know if y'all are with the whole believing in divine intervention.
Girl,
and
my
all
life.
That. But I felt this pull, something pulling me to DR. And ironically, there's still a tweet from my personal Twitter account, which I haven't like updated in like probably like 10 years. But September, I think it was, I tweeted on my way to the Dominican Republic in search of my personal legend. And I don't know if you know what personal legend is, but it's a term that Paulo Coelho uses. The Alchemist. And it's like the search for like who you are and what you're supposed to be doing. And I said that, but I said that like we say de la boca pa fuera. I didn't say that thinking anything deep, y'all. Like I was like, I'm about to go learn about all the cute beaches and all the whatever, and I'm also gonna learn about why the whole thing with like Haitian and DR, like why is that happening? And like I wanted to learn about that, yes. But I didn't think deeply into like finding my personal legend. And so I went to DR and searched for that, and that's exactly what I found.
Wow, that's incredible.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
And so be careful what you ask for, because the universe will deliver.
Listens a little too hard
It does.
sometimes.
And so yeah.
Well, I'm so grateful that you listened to the universe, because not only, did you find that legend, I think that you are building, on something that other people will also be able to build upon. And I take things like that very seriously, especially as a Dominican woman growing up who didn't feel like in any space, like not even like movies and TV and film, but like in any space outside of a salon or a home, you know what I mean, that women were like dominating spaces. And I've always talked about salon, and in my play La Greña that I wrote, I really try to echo the fact that we don't think of our women as these bosses in this machismo society, but they're running full businesses. And not only is the salon space a business, it is also like a soul space where women come to like kiki and like, decompress and like all the dialogue that can't happen in the four walls into which they live. And I experience this a lot, especially when I'm in salons in DR. Like it is such a community center point where women hang out and they're not even getting their hair done, bro. Like they just need to be in the space. They just want to kiki, and the relationships that you develop con los negocios que le quedan al lado, right? Like the bodega man, the person who sells lunch here. And it is a focal point for what becomes a little bit of a community. And I think that we, as a society sometimes don't give it the reverence and the honor that it deserves. So I think it's so interesting that that's where you went.
And it's so interesting because it's 100 times worse than DR. For you to say that you're a peluquera or hairstylist is almost like saying you're a sex worker. It's like, you're making dirt money. It's not necessarily something that's looked upon as like a profession.
Yeah.
And so, yes, I landed in this whole salon business in DR, but I actually was a part of the salon business for years because my aunt owns like salons here in the US.
Wow.
And I was like the shampoo girl for many, many summers. And I would make like $20 a week doing shampoos and doing rolos and sectioning hair for relaxers. Never in a million years imagining that I would end up with a salon.
Wow.
But yeah, you're fast forwarding a whole like 4 or 6 years from when I landed in DR.
Wow.
Because I didn't do that in the beginning. I got to DR, I ran out of money after the second month, and I didn't take that flight out. And so I was like, I need to get a job. And then I ended up getting a job as like an executive bilingual secretary. And on my very first day, my boss was like, no, you're too good. You're gonna be a coordinator for this youth program with sex workers and like men who have sex with men and HIV prevention and all this stuff. And I was there for 4 years.
Wow. Wait, okay, so...
We're learning so much.
So you run out of money after 2 months, and you, like, what was that like coming to that decision still? Because I know you said it was divine intervention, you felt a pull, but like, my anxiety raises just thinking.
I know what I'm going through right now. It's this pull. Something was pulling me. And I always say this, and I feel like too many people say that I woke up afuera, like, without meaning it, but like walking in your truth and walking in your power is really a thing.
Yeah.
It's like, it's obeying kind of like what you were placed in this earth, on this earth to do. And at the moment, I didn't have an answer. I just knew that I had to stay. And it's just being very intuitive and listening to your body and listening to, this is gonna sound again a little maybe freaky, but listening to your ancestors. And it's not like your ancestors are in your ears like, stay, stay, stay. It's more of being like intuitive and listening to how your body reacts to like the spaces that you're occupying, how all of a sudden you're making friends and you're meeting people that are important and that are symbolic to where your life is headed to. And so it was listening to all of that kind of forced me to stay. It's also the fact that I went to DR for answers and I didn't get them. So I was still searching and seeking. I remember that summer I read Junot Diaz's Brief and Wondrous Life of Oscar Wilde. If you haven't read it, you have to read it. It's one of those books that every Dominican should read and everyone should read. But it just literally placed mad questions in my head about why things were the way they were in DR. And those 2 months weren't enough.
Yeah. And so, that's incredible. And then I want to save some of this for later when we're talking about, the movement and some of the impact that like doing this work has on these communities. But we're going to move into our BRONCHE question.